Hi all, welcome to the channel Cloud Knowledge. Today in this video we'll study about set variable activity in Azure Data Factory and Synapse Analytics pipelines. So if we go to the official documentation by Microsoft under the ADF, that is the Data Factory documentation, under the control flow activities we have set variable activity here, which states that use the set variable activity to set the value of an existing variable of type string, bool or array defined in the Data Factory or Synapse pipelines, or use this activity to set a pipeline return value. This pipeline return value concept we'll learn in a different video. For this video, our scope is limited to set variable activity. So as the statement here suggests that we have to set the value of an existing variable, which should be of type string, bool or array. So in order to understand set variable activity, we have to first understand the concept of existing variable, that is the variable which is already there in the pipeline. Okay, so if we go to another page under the concepts of pipeline parameters and variables under the same Data Factory documentation, here we have the concept defined for the pipeline variables here. Okay, pipeline variables, what are they? They are the values that can be set and modified during a pipeline run. Okay, unlike the parameters which are defined at the pipeline level and cannot be changed during the pipeline run, variables can be set and modified within a pipeline using the set variable activity. Okay, so this concept of pipeline variables we should know before working with the set variable activity. So we'll try to create the set variable activity in the UI, that is through Azure portal in the Data Factory. So let's go to the Data Factory and see the usage of set variable activity through small examples. Okay, so let's go to the portal. Here we are inside ADF Cloud Knowledge Data Factory, and inside the auto tab we are. So we'll create a new pipeline. We'll name this pipeline as set variable demo 1, set var demo 1 pipeline. And here if we go to the general tab, we'll find set variable here present activity. Take the set variable activity in the canvas. Okay, once we take it in the canvas, we have three sections here. General is same like other activities where we give the name and the description of the activity. Then comes the settings. Settings is the main tab where we select the variable type, whether it is a pipeline variable or pipeline return value. So this pipeline return value we will see in a different video. For the current video, we'll see the pipeline variable as the variable type. Okay, this is which type of variable you wish to set. Pipeline variables are user defined, so we'll use the pipeline variables. And if you select under the drop down for the name, we won't find anything because we have not defined the pipeline variable. So in order to define the pipeline variable, we have to click on the empty space in the pipeline. Okay, here if we click on the activity, it will give the settings of the activity. If we click on the blank space in the canvas, it will give us the option to add parameter variables, see the output, etc. Okay, so here we'll go to the second tab, that is the variables tab, and create a pipeline variable. Click on plus new, it will give us the option to add the variable. So let's define here a new variable called as var. And if we go to the type, here we have three types: string, bool and array. An array, as we read here in the official documentation, that the existing variable should be of type string, bool and array defined in the Data Factory or the Synapse pipelines. Okay, so this we did. Now we'll go to the set variable activity, and when we open the drop down from the set variable activity name, we'll see the var. Okay, once the pipeline variable is selected, a new option will appear called as value. Okay, the value we have to give here. Here we will give the value of the pipeline variable, and since we have defined the pipeline variable as string, we'll go here and give any random string. So let's give it as, let's say, cloud knowledge for this time. So we gave the string value as cloud knowledge, so we'll validate it and we'll execute this set variable activity to see how the output looks. Okay, so here if we go in the input, we have given the variable name and the value, and in the output we'll see the name of the variable as var, and the value set by the set variable activity as cloud knowledge. Okay, since it was string, so it is set as cloud knowledge. Okay, so the set variable activity has set the value of this pipeline variable defined as var as cloud knowledge. And as we know from the variables definition, that variables are values that can be set and modified during a pipeline run. So how we can see that the value of this variable is getting modified during the pipeline run? So what we'll do here is, we'll take another set variable activity, and the same variable we'll take in the set variable 2. That is, we'll go to the settings of the set variable 2, we'll take var, we'll define another value to this variable. So let's make it as cloud knowledge channel set here. Okay, so let's take one more set variable activity and we'll join set variable 2 to set variable 3, and in the set variable 3 2, we'll select the same pipeline variable, and here we'll set another value to it, and let's make the value as ck channel content this time. So what we did here is we have a single variable here. In one of the set variable activity, we are setting the value to cloud knowledge. In the second one, for the same variable, we are setting to cloud knowledge channel, and in the third to ck channel content. So the variable value should keep on changing as it has written here. Okay, it can be set and modified during a pipeline run. So let's try to debug. And see the output. So here for the set variable 1, we can see that the variable value was cloud knowledge. For the 2, for the second one, it is cloud knowledge channel, and for the third one, it is ck channel content. Okay, so in the same pipeline execution, the value of the pipeline variable got changed thrice. Okay, so this we demonstrated using this demo. Now let's try to create one more pipeline, and we'll name this pipeline as set var demo 2. And here in this small example, we'll demonstrate how we can use the dynamic content in the set variable activity. So let's take set variable activity in the canvas, and in the set variable activity, we'll go to the settings, and since we have not defined any pipeline variable, it will not show up anything in the name. So we'll go to the pipeline, and in the pipeline we'll go to the variable section and define a new variable. So here is the variable which is of string type, and now if we go to the set variable activity, we'll see the variable which we have defined. In the value, let's say we are giving cloud knowledge as the string value. Okay, so we have given the string value to this first set variable activity. So now our requirement is that for this pipeline variable var and the value which we have set as cloud knowledge, we want to add one more word that is called channel to be added to this variable value. Okay, dynamically. So how we will do is, we will take another set variable activity in the canvas and we'll join the output here, and in the second set variable activity we'll go to the settings and we will create another pipeline variable, because if we select the same pipeline variable and try to add the dynamic content here, if we go to the expression builder and select the variable here, it will give us the error. The expression contains self-referencing variable. A variable cannot reference itself in the expression. Okay, so a variable cannot reference itself in the expression. That's why we have to create another variable. So cancel it here and we'll go to the pipeline level and create a new var. Okay, so let's name it as var 2, and it is also of string type. We'll go back here in the set variable 2 and we'll take var 2 this time, and in the values we'll add dynamic content, and this time we can add the dynamic content using the function called as concat. So if we search here under the functions, concat, it is used to combine any number of strings together, and we want to combine, that is concat, the string list first is, we want to concat the variable that is var, the value coming from the first variable that is cloud knowledge, which was set using the set variable 1, and the string called as channel. So it will become cloud knowledge channel. Okay. So click OK and then validate this pipeline and perform a debug execution. So both succeeded. If we click on the first one, it has the variable var value cloud knowledge, and if we click on set variable 2, it is var2 and it is cloud knowledge channel. So there is no space here. We can add the space too. So if we go to the set variable 2 in the value, and here we could add the space. So we'll add space single quotes. Okay. So single quotes having space in between, we'll add. Click OK, perform a debug run. And if you open the output of the set var2, we can see cloud knowledge channel with spaces. Okay, so this is how we can make use of the dynamic content. Let's publish the changes. Publishing completed. So here in the first demo, we saw that the variable value changed during the pipeline execution. In the second demo, we saw how we could make use of the dynamic content and how we can create a new variable using the existing variable. Now we'll create another pipeline for the third demo. So let's create a new pipeline. Let's name it as set var demo 3, and in this demo we'll see how the set variable activity will perform on the basis of the conditions which are set in the pipeline. So for the condition setting, we'll take the if condition from the iteration and conditionals, and in the if condition we'll leave the general tab as is. We'll go to the activities tab, and we know in the activities we have to give the expression of the if condition activity. The value must evaluate to either true or false. So here we'll not complicate it much. We'll just give here true. Okay, the expression here is true, so it will go into the true case, and in the true case click on this edit button and we'll take the set variable activity in the true case. Okay, so just take the set variable activity in the true activities of the if condition activity. Okay, and in the set variable activity we'll go to the settings. Since we have not defined any pipeline variable, it will not show up anything, so we'll go back to the main pipeline. Okay, and here we'll define the variable. So here we are in the empty space and we'll create a new variable. Let's say conditional variable. Okay, var condition, let it be string, and we'll go to the activity section, true case, and in the set variable activity we'll select the var condition which we have defined, and in the value we'll say this is true block. Okay, we'll go back in the if condition activity here and we'll go to the false case and take another set variable activity in the canvas. We'll go to the settings of this, select the same variable, pipeline variable, and we'll write here this is false block. Okay, so the setting we did here for this if condition and the set variable 1 and set variable 2. Okay, if we perform a debug run here, and if we open the set var 1, we could see the var condition variable, the pipeline variable, has entered into the true block, because in the if condition we have defined the expression as true. Okay, if we give here false and try to perform a debug run, this time the variable will be going into the false case. So let's click in the output, and in the output this is false block. Okay, so this is how we can set the variable on the basis of condition. And outside this if condition, we'll take another set variable activity and we'll take the output of the if condition to this activity, and this set variable activity will store the final output. So we'll create another variable here, let's say final var, and we'll select that final var into this set variable 3. Select the final var, we'll go to the value. In the value we'll add the dynamic content, and the dynamic content will be, we'll select the variable var condition. Okay, the one which is going to come from the condition block of the if condition activity. Okay, so we'll click OK, and now we know that the expression is false, so it will set the setVar3 final variable also to false. Okay, so perform a debug run. And we could see in the setVar3 that the final var is also false block. That is, the value appeared depending upon the variable set inside the if condition. Okay, so this was another small example of the usage of set variable activity. So we have published the changes. We'll close all these pipelines. So now we'll take a new use case of the set variable activity inside the until activity. So let's name this as set var demo 4. Okay. So first what we'll do is we'll take the set variable activity in the canvas, and as we did in the first demo, we will create pipeline variable first. So we'll go to the variable section, create a new variable, click on plus new, add a variable with name as var, and we'll go to the set variable activity. In the settings tab, we'll select the variable var. Okay, in the value, we'll give the same value, cloud knowledge. Okay, so this is the variable set for the set variable 1. Okay, in this activity, now we'll take until activity in the canvas. Until activity comes under the iteration and conditionals. Okay, you can read in detail about until activity from the Microsoft standard documentation or from the video illustrating until activity in my playlist. So let's connect the output of the set variable 1 to the until activity here. Now we'll click on the until activity. In the until activity, we'll go to the settings tab. In the settings tab, we have to give the expression. Expression of until activity, the value must evaluate to true or false. It should be boolean. So here in the expression, we'll add the dynamic content, and here in the expression, we'll compare the variable var, which is coming from the set variable activity, whether it is equals to the string which we are giving here. Okay, so we'll write equals function. What it does, if you hover over it, it checks whether both values, expressions or objects are equivalent. Okay, so the first object will be the variable coming from the set variable activity. So we'll select from the variable section var. Okay, whether this variable, and in this variable we have set cloud knowledge, whether that is equals to cloud knowledge channel, whether that is equals to cloud knowledge channel. Okay, so this expression signifies whether the variable from the set variable activity, it is equals to cloud knowledge channel. So until activity expression, what it will do is, until the variable is equals to cloud knowledge channel, the activities which are defined here in the until activity case, that will be executed. Okay, and in the settings of this until activity, by default the timeout is 12 hours. So we'll make it lesser for this demo purpose. Let's make it to 15 seconds. Okay, it is seconds, minutes, hours. And we'll go now inside the activities of the until activity. What we want to perform in the activity, we want to take another set variable activity, and we'll go to the settings, and here we'll take a new variable and assign a value to it. So we'll go back to the pipeline. Here we'll create a new variable of string type only, and we'll go inside the until activity set variable 2. We'll take the new var, and here we'll give the value as, let's say, cloud knowledge channel. Okay, and we'll go again back here to the pipeline, and we could see here that the set variable 1 is holding value cloud knowledge, and in the until condition we have mentioned that the variable, if it is equals to, until the variable cloud knowledge is equals to cloud knowledge channel, perform this set variable operation or the activity mentioned inside this until activity. Okay, so let's validate this pipeline and perform a debug run. And we know that here the value is cloud knowledge, and in the condition or the expression of the until activity we have mentioned cloud knowledge channel. So it is not equal, right? So let's wait here. And the execution started. Let's click on refresh. And we could see that until activity has timed out, because in the until activity we have mentioned the timeout duration as 15 seconds. So it has timed out, and the set variable 2 is keep getting executed, right? It is not stopping because the until expression is not met. Let's now make the change here or in the set variable 1, cloud knowledge channel. So we'll go to the set variable 1, and here we'll make the value as cloud knowledge channel. Okay. And now we'll perform a debug run. So this until activity will execute once because now the expression will meet, which is mentioned here. The variable is now equals to cloud knowledge channel, right? So let's go here to the output, click on refresh, and we could see that the set variable 1 is cloud knowledge channel. Until activity has executed once, and in the set variable 2 value is set. Okay. So this is how we can use set variable activity and until activity together. Let's publish the changes. So I hope you have understood the usage of set variable activity in Data Factory and Synapse pipelines with the help of these small demo videos. Do let me know in comments if you have any queries. Thank you for watching the video. Happy learning. Bye.